The Seekers came into my life in the early 60s. They had a sound which was unique.
This train on Cano Extras, this train. This train. This train on Cano Extras, this train.
Well, when I first heard Judith Durham sing, I was absolutely knocked out. She was one of those voices that you could identify straight away.
This train and bound for glory, this train.
She was a girl with a wonderful voice that made the Seekers a totally different band.
In 1964, Athol organised a trip for us on a ship called the Fair Sky to England, and our deal was that we would play on board the boat and stay there in England for 10 weeks and return back to Australia.
I don't think I would have gone if I thought it was going to be more than 10 weeks. I was very much, with my parents, and I wasn't intending to leave home for a long time, and I wasn't geared up for it.
London at that time was the swinging music capital of the whole universe. There were the Beatles here, the Rolling Stones there, the Kinks, all sort of solo artists, Dusty Springfield. And suddenly we found that we were right in the thick of it, because we started working pretty much as soon as we got off the ship.
With my swaggle on my shoulder, back Billy in my hand.
So this was, so unexpected. And I had to ring my parents and say, oh gosh, I'm not coming back. I thought I'd perhaps go back to the piano and my singing still. It was all sort of unfulfilled thoughts that I'd had. So it was a big thing to say, right, I'm going to be a full-time seeker.
Oh, and some at Fiery Creek, I made a fortune in a day.
We recorded a number of songs from our early days in Australia, but there really wasn't a lot of interest at that time.
Like a true born native man.
I think we needed something different musically, and that was where the connection with Tom Springfield was made.
Trying to forget you.
Tom had a great understanding of what the group could achieve vocally, musically.
Never straight.
He'd had that experience with his own group with his sister Dusty called the Springfields, who had a not dissimilar sound.
On the island of dreams.
Tom came around to meet us all, which was fabulous, and on a little piece of paper had written out the lyrics to I'll Never Find Another You.
There's a new world somewhere they call the Promised Land.
Abbey Road in those days, there was an upstairs and downstairs. And in the downstairs huge studio was where the Beatles would record. We recorded I'll Never Find Another You in that studio on the ground floor.
There's a new world somewhere they call the Promised Land, and I'll be there someday if you will hold my hand. I still need you there beside me, no matter what I do, for I know I'll never find another you. There is always someone for each of us, they say, and you'll be my someone forever and a day.
Keith singing the high tenor part. He was all the time slightly sharp. Hope he won't mind me saying that. I was the next voice down, the baritone, slightly under the note.
It's a long, long.
Judith singing melody in a clear, tuneful voice, and Athol always very tuneful down in the bottom end with the bass.
My guide, be my guide.
All of us have our ideas about how a song, words and music should go. So very often I'd want to, say, oh no, I really think it should go like this. I'd drive the boys potty, as I still do today, I think.
Never mind at all. But if I should lose your love, dear, I don't know what I'd do, for I know I'll never find another you.
This is Radio Caroline on 199, England's first commercial radio station. The Seekers had just recorded I'll Never Find Another You, but they couldn't get anyone to hear it because the BBC would not play songs until they became hits. There was no commercial radio in the UK. So the Seekers got their start through pirate radio because nobody else would play their songs.
We were at EMI's offices and the door just about crashed off its hinges as the team out there came in shouting, "You're number one, you're number one, you're number one." And we went, "We are number one." How do we do that?
It's a long, long journey, so stay by my side. When I walk through the storm, you'll be my guide, be my guide. If they gave me a fortune, my pleasure would be small. I could lose it all tomorrow and never mind it all. But if I should lose your love, dear, I don't know what I'll do, for I know I'll never find another you, another you, another you.
And then the idea came up that, we hadn't been together for nearly 25 years, so we should have a Silver Jubilee reunion concert. And we thought we'd better sit down and have a bit of a sing-along, make sure we could still do it in the manner that everybody had become accustomed to years before.
And they wanted a studio, a low-profile studio that they could come to and just test the waters.
One of the golden oldies, the olden goldies.
Certainly a little tentative in every regard.
There's a new world somewhere they call the Promised Land.
It was an extraordinary moment because it was the first time those four voices had come together to sing in a generation.
Need you there beside me, no matter what I do, for I know I'll never find another you.
There is always someone for each of us, they say, and you'll be my someone forever and a day. I could search the whole world over until my life is through, but I know I'll never find another you.
It's a long, long journey, so stay by my side. When I walk through the storm, you'll be my guide, be my guide. If they gave me a fortune, my pleasure would be small. I could lose it all tomorrow and never mind it all. But if I should lose your love, dear, I don't know what I'd do, for I know I'll never find another you. But if I should lose your